show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com. This show is brought to you by Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza, sliceonbroadway.com. And listeners like you, support this show at patreon.com/awesomecast.
Sidekick Media Services. We are your sidekick in business for social media, video production, and more. Find out more at sidekickmediaservices.com.
It's time to get geeky, get awesome. It is the AwesomeCast. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on the Twitter here in the Sorgatron Media Studios here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Ready to get geeky with our crew tonight. With us, first of all, from the Big D, Dormont, PA. He is the gadget guru at Big Bank International Esquire. He is the Chilla.
How's it going?
Are you off TikTok? I know we had. I know I accidentally sucked you into it talking about it beforehand.
Yeah, I'm off. Might have put the phone down. It's ridiculous how it captivates me.
It is dangerous. Absolutely. And we're going to talk about a little more about TikTok in a moment here. But also back with us, the Dudders.
Hi. How's it going? Preparing for those 20 feet of snow we're getting tomorrow?
Exactly. I didn't even bother bringing any guests in for Wrestling Manager. I'm done with in-studio guests for the rest of the year. That's it. It's too no in-studio guests until this whole thing's over. Probably, maybe, I don't know. But how are you doing over there?
Good. All bunkered in, ready for whatever weather comes tomorrow.
You're all decked out in Winter Classic gear over there. Is hockey? I don't know if hockey's coming back. I know basketball's supposed to start up soon.
Probably not till after the first of the year. Maybe with hockey. Depends on how this month goes.
Absolutely. I know for everything, right? So, but it just dawned on me we would be full swing in the hockey by now, and basketball actually. So it'll be interesting to see how that rolls out. And also back with us, Amanda Narcisi of Bold Pittsburgh is back once again. She's been giving me all the hot tips in our Slack channel, by the way, since the last show. So help me solve a YouTube problem, actually. Amanda, how you doing?
I'm good. I just don't have anything else to pass my time with but solving tech issues anymore. So,
well, I have to share this. We talked about it a little before the show. I saw a message she had. We'll talk about here tonight, and I was like, "Hey, you should come on and talk about that." And she's like, "Yeah, I get off at 7 from my job," and I'm like, "Oh, you'll never get home by then." In my head, and then I'm like, "Wait, I forget." We're all at home. We're all working from home.
Switch computers. That's all.
I'm like the only one with a commute these days, and it's still 3 blocks. So, so I'm worried about the storm to get up here 3 blocks tomorrow. So, no, thanks for coming back again, Amanda. Stuff's still rocking over there at Bold Pittsburgh. I know I've seen some articles pop up on my feeds.
Yes, very busy. Very busy.
Awesome. But anyways, this is the AwesomeCast. We talk tech, geeky, all kinds of fun stuff here. You can check out everything on awesomecast.com. Email us at awesomecast@sorgatronmedia.com. Tweet us at AwesomeCast and hit us on the Facebook page and group. We have a lot of great things that are shared throughout the week in the group that we do bring into our document to hopefully get to. We don't get to everything. We don't get to our own stories a lot of times on here. But we do have them in the mix, and you guys are contributing and being part of that conversation over there. We are live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Facebook Live, on YouTube, on the Sorgatron Media Twitch, and as long as it is still around, apparently, I don't know, Periscope is supposed to be going. Oh wait, in March they just announced. I know there's a Twitter Live. So we'll figure it out. It may just be a YouTube link on Twitter. I don't know. Either way, we'll be live on your Twitter if you follow us on there, too. Also, a programming note. Next week will be our year-end episode. So we're going to try to get a few people in here, do our usual predictions and everything like that. And we will not leave you without shows over the holidays. we're going to do some pre-recorded specials with the crew. We're getting those organized right now, and so you'll have some stuff that'll hopefully help you through the holidays. Actually, some good tip shows and everything that we have in the works. So stay tuned for that. And thank you to our audio partners at the405media.com. They're streaming us regularly, and over at postindustrial.com. One, they do great news coverage of all the craziness that's been going on in the last 9 months. They really did an awesome job of pivoting what they focused on, and have a great daily newsletter that tends to feature us every once in a while. But give them an extended shout out because they've been so good to us over the last several weeks. So. And also, thank you to our Patreon supporters at patreon.com/awesomecast. Our friends at the Coffee Club level, Matt Weller, John DeGore, and John Carmen. And our friends at the Fan of the Show level, Michael Fedor, pjsmuseums.org, the Professor Buzzkill podcast, and Dave Ponder. You guys can support the show if you like what's going on here and help us keep the lights on and the server running over at patreon.com/awesomecast. And thank you so much to everybody that does support us over there. So let's get into our awesome things of the week. Amanda, you got the new. You got the shiny new here. So let's start with you.
All right, surprise. No. So yesterday, Apple Fitness Plus dropped, and I felt the need to do a workout. And it taught me I'm really out of shape. This whole like not being able to stand for 9 hours a day like I normally do at my job has left me very out of shape. So no, it was cool. I totally was looking forward to updating my phone and then updating my watch. And then I was like, oh, well, I'll give it a shot later on tonight. And I just wanted to see the integration more than anything. Like I didn't really particularly like want to work out. I just more wanted to see how it worked together. Because something like going from your watch to your Apple TV was something that just astounded me, that they have that working now. So basically I started the workout on my phone. And then on my watch, a little thing popped up that said, start your workout. And you just hit play, as you can see in there. And then it just starts the video on your television, on your Apple TV. So then you can go through the whole workout. It tracks everything. It lets you know when you're halfway through. And then if you complete your rings, it gives like a little animation and a congratulations, like you've completed your move goal. And then it tracks it. So I won an award I got a badge last night for doing my first cool down workout. And then I closed all my rings, so of course I got that award badge thing, and yeah, it was pretty neato. I'm really looking forward to next week. I got a bike like a month ago when it started to get cold, of course, and you can't go ride your bike anymore, but I found a stand for it on Amazon, so I'm going to make it into a bike. Mm-hmm. So I'm actually going to be able to prop up my iPad and use the cycling classes. So that's what I'm really excited for.
That's what I've been interested in too, because I have the treadmill and I have a bike. Well, the treadmill I've been using, but the bike I haven't been in. I was like wondering about if that would give a little new life to that, because I just kind of stroll on my treadmill, to be honest.
I thought it was neat. I tried Peloton in the beginning of this, beginning of shutdown, because Peloton was free for like 90 days. If you were a new customer in the beginning of shutdown, like April, I think they ran that special. So this is a little bit of a different integration. I also didn't feel as pressured to keep up. So they had 3 people on the screen. One was like beginner, intermediate, and expert. So if you weren't quite up to speed with the like intermediate one, they showed you like, okay, in this pose you can keep your knees down and it will be easier. So it wasn't so pressuring as like Peloton was like, go, you have to do 10 miles today. And
yeah, absolutely. So and the only real experience I have with any kind of like system like that is like DDP yoga. And that's, I mean, they have some bigger stuff, but DDP is pretty intense as a trainer. So, and talking about the wrestler, Diamond Dallas Page, of course. But
yes.
That's my experience with something like that, other than some personal yoga instructors here and there. But no, that's awesome. So I mean, does it feel, versus a Peloton, does it feel a little more welcoming for a beginner? all around?
Does. It did. It actually had like a different tab that says like beginner classes, and they were short, 10 minutes long, nice and easy, and they were mostly like, I did the yoga beginners, and it was 10 minutes, and it was nothing intense. So if you are completely just starting out, it was all about that. And they even talked about the inclusivity in it. Like when they were just warming up and starting the breathing, they're like, this journey, if you're just starting out, welcome, and you'll feel better in a couple classes, and like, just stick with it. It was weird, instead of like the whole, like, all right, we're going to do 20 miles today, like, and freaking you out. Like it was very warming instead of it. I mean, it was a really neat experience. The integration was really cool.
That's great. So this is going to be going. They have a trial for everybody for a month, correct? And then 3 months if you bought a new Apple Watch. Do I have that straight?
Yes. So if you buy a new Apple Watch, it's 3 months for free. I have Premiere, so it was included in my Apple One subscription.
Right. So
that's what I just.
So we can try it out until I have a lot of free trials I'm waiting to lapse before I get the Premiere. So
I read all my cost options, and it was basically, I even wrote it down, and I was like, basically for $4 more, I got 2 terabytes and fitness.
Yeah. That's basically where I'm at. It's like a $6 or $7 difference between what I do now or intend to do when these free trials are done versus what we would pay for that for the family. So no, absolutely. So so that's awesome. So was it rolled out across the board, or was this like kind of a step thing they did yesterday?
It was rolled out across the board. The only thing I had to do was update my Apple TV. My Apple TV was not set to update automatically. So when I turned it on, after I updated it, the logo was there. Like the app was on the screen already. I didn't have to download it.
And this is part of the new 14.3 that just came out?
On iPhone and iPad, yes. And then it's
yeah.
tvOS, I think 10 or 12, and then Watch 7.
Right. Sorry, I forgot that's not across the board. So.
I'm like,
yeah,
I had to do my iPad this morning. I forgot about my iPad, and then you have to go in and search Apple Fitness 1 or Apple Fitness Plus and download it.
Okay.
So the only thing I don't like is you can't track your circles across the board. So like if you close all your circles, you can only see that on your phone, or your competitions on your phone. So like if, for example, so like the iPad is only the exercises.
Right.
And the TV is only the exercises. So, if I wanted to check where my buddy's doing, like what my friend is doing on his workout, I can't see that.
So the activity functions that you were used to before this still exist in the same places.
Only on the phone, yeah.
Basically, they've added it sounds like they just use the TV and the iPad as this is going to be the video component of this. And I know the rings pop up there, but that's probably just about it. It's just the visual component of it. So
right,
it makes sense. That's awesome. So there you go. For firsthand, you're gonna have to give us some updates in the group and let us know how the other functions are going on there.
Definitely.
So thank you so much for joining us for that. Let's see. Now that we worked out, let's play some video games. And Dudders, what's going on in Animal Crossing?
Hey, we can build snowboys.
Snowboys?
Snowboys. They're not snowmen. They're snowboys. But they look just like your typical. I guess maybe because they're only 2 circles as opposed to 3. I don't know. That's my guess. Who knows? But snowboys are back on Animal Crossing, and you can build them. And the snowboys, when you build them perfectly, you get a new recipe, which is awesome. It's all the ice, and every day that you have a properly built snowboy, which sadly they only last 3 days. So you have to make sure you talk to them every day that they're alive. And for those 3 days, you get a giant snowflake, which you use in a recipe. So one of the things with the snowboys is unless you build them perfectly, you don't get the new recipe when they come to life, and which is kind of a pain in the butt sometimes, because with rolling my snowboys, you're rolling a ball. So first you kick the ball, and then as it gets bigger, then you can roll it, And as you roll it, if you run it into a fence post or into the water or something, it'll go away, and then you'll have to go into a building and it'll reappear. So that's one of my Animal Crossing snowboy tips is if you have crushed one of your balls, your snowboy, you could just go into a building and come back out and you'll get a new one. So the first one you'll roll around. To create the perfect snowboy, there are several methods on the internet, which is amazing to see to begin with. There's counting methods where you roll the bottom one, I think it's 17 times, and then the second one for 12 times, and then you push them together and they become a snowboy. There's the other method where you measure your 2 balls for your snowboy. And the one, if you are looking at your character, your bottom one should be as tall as the top of your ear, and your head or your top of your snowboy should be as big as the bottom of your ear. And that's how you create this perfect snowboy.
There's a picture with there's a picture with like a height chart on here that you gave us.
This was my favorite one with all of the different methods, and it's like math. Like,
yeah,
I'm playing a game. Don't make me do math.
This is like a STEM game now.
I'm thinking that if I rolled a snowball that came up to the top of my ear and then rolled one that was to the bottom of my ear, getting that snowball up on top of the other one would be rather difficult.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not in Animal Crossing. We're super buff there.
Yeah.
No need for our Apple workouts.
Physics are very special in Animal Crossing.
Absolutely. And okay, so with the third method, and the one that I've gotten to work a couple times already, is essentially you roll your first ball around until it's the maximum size, and then you put a path down in the snow using your tools, and you put 10 spaces, so like maybe a 10, I do 2 rows of it because it's too hard if it's a single row, but it's like essentially 10 sidewalks, 10, however, some people have that you can get the different I'm totally blanking out on it, but like looks like terracotta or whatever, blah blah blah. But you roll your other snowball to maximum size, and then you roll it across what essentially is your new sidewalk, and that your ball decreases in size until it gets to the other one where it's already max size. So you have max size on one end, 10 sidewalk pieces, and then your maximum, and then you roll them, and then they pop up on top, and you're supposed to have a perfect snowboy. Another hot tip with this that kind of screwed me was the one you are pushing, no matter if it's bigger, if you're pushing, if your big one and then you have a little bit smaller one, if you are pushing the big one towards your small one, your big one will go on top. So whatever one you want to be on top should be the one you're pushing towards the other one, because that screwed me, and he mocked me. My imperfect snowboy mocked me plenty for that. He's like, essentially he was an abomination.
So you're just making sad snowboys at this point.
Yeah, they don't do anything for you. They just sit there and they mock you, and you just get so mad. And I was the game automatically, because one of the other tips is if you mess it up, hurry up and exit out of the game and come back in, because then you'll get your new balls reset. But my game had already automatically saved, and I was like, he was there mocking me.
There's some metaphor for life for this one.
Yeah,
somewhere along the line.
It's all, but yeah, if you can't figure it out, just Google it. There's like I said, there's at least 3 methods, if not more, out there now to building the perfect snowboy.
Wow.
If you hear swearing from my house, that's why.
Why is she so angry on Twitter today? Well, she's been making snowboys, and it's not going well. Not going well. Oh boy. Chilla, what do you got? What do you got going on with Chrome and old hardware over here?
So I think we've covered this company a long time ago. There's a company called Neverware, and they make a flavor of ChromeOS called CloudReady. CloudReady was free for tinkerers, parents, and students, and pretty much other humans in general. It says so right on their website.
I was just playing with it again last week.
Oh, really?
I love it.
Okay.
I love it. I was just throwing it on my old Asus laptop just to, try to get a little easier work without everything loading on Windows. So this is a little more aged.
Mm-hmm. And the cool part is it's free.
Mm-hmm.
For those types. It does come with automatic security and feature updates. The one thing that their free version does not come with is compatibility with Chrome management and Google Admin Console. So if you're running like a G Suite shop, you wouldn't be able to manage that device or OS with the cloud tools.
And other thing that it does not support is support for Android working on it, because that is a Google specific licensing sort of feature. And I was trying to see if I could run like the GeForce streaming and all that kind of, not GeForce, the xCloud, because xCloud has a Android app that you could pull over and use apparently. But that did not work on it as of me trying it like 2 weeks ago.
Well, that may change because Google has decided to buy Neverware.
What?
Yes. What? So Google is acquiring Neverware. They do not. They plan to completely honor anyone's existing licensing and agreements. So if you're paying for it, because it is the Neverware licensing is a annual subscription fee.
Mm-hmm.
But it can make, like you said, any old computer useful again running ChromeOS. So I'm interested to see how Google spins this. Will they continue to make it where, if you want to manage it and do some G Suite stuff and maybe run Android, maybe there's a fee included? Hopefully, I'm not a huge fan of the subscription theory for my OS, but that being said, maybe it's worth $20 or $30 a year.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll become part of, pay for an additional tier of cloud storage. And you pick this up too, with additional capabilities like the management and like the ability to run Android.
Is it?
But I thought it was a pretty interesting purchase from Google.
I mean, it doesn't ChromeOS by itself just encourage you to buy into more Google services to basically do anything? Like, that's the point, right?
Yeah, and it's interesting because I feel like they're trying to change some of their modeling, which concerns me, right? Because obviously they're already gleaming a lot of data and information from me.
Mm-hmm.
I am actually right now, as we speak, doing mass deletes on my Gmail account because I just got a warning that says if I don't clean up my Gmail account within the next 24 hours, I will no longer be able to send or receive messages.
Oof.
Or I can pay them more money. So I guess it's time to clean up.
Yeah, so that's kind of like I've been getting emails from Dropbox. Hey, don't bother deleting stuff. It's like, yeah, because you want me to pay you more money. I get it, like but it's not like warning me like it is yours, right? It's saying, don't worry about that. Just click this button, and we'll charge your card. So
yeah, I'm interested to figure out how So earlier, before I started deleting things, I at least had like a bar to tell me how much space I was over on my free 15 gig.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. I'm now down to. That's cool. I was at 15.1 gig. I'm now down to 9.88 gig.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember how I filled 2 terabytes of both Dropbox and Google Drive somehow. And yeah. So I have 4 terabytes of cloud out there, a functional cloud out there. It's not including Backblaze. I got a lot of cloud out there, but no. So anyways, either way, bring it back around. ChromeOS, you can put it on anything. Now more officially from the sounds of it. I'm going to be keeping an ear out, and if you hear something, please pass it along, because I'm really excited to get, when this becomes official Google Chrome, to throw that on my machine and see how it works, see if there's any differences, really, because it's really smooth. I usually just throw it on a key drive, a thumb drive, and just that's the thing you slap into a computer, if you don't want to deal with the Windows stuff or need to make sure the computer works, right? Like that was a big, like, I used to do the same thing with Ubuntu. I would throw it on an old computer and be like, if this can't run Ubuntu, Linux, it's a Linux distribution, it can't run anything worthwhile. This basically was my line when I was getting rid of computers, like older computers. I don't do that as much anymore. After several arguments with my wife. But anyways, that's awesome. That's really awesome. So I'm going to echo with my awesome thing. Something that Katie had her Facebook posts, the skeletons, the Ghostbuster skeletons a few months ago, Katie, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
for Halloween.
And stuff started happening with that post, right?
Yeah.
And it was on Facebook, and you kind of asked the question: is this viral? Did I just go viral? Right?
Yeah.
So if you follow our social media for AwesomeCast or basically anything else that I do right now, I've been changing some things up the last couple of weeks. I just been trying a lot of new stuff, and one of them has really been kind of going at TikTok. And it's just under me. It's just Sorgatron on TikTok right now. And I'm posting versions of the posts we do on this show and over on Wrestling Mayhem show. And then I started getting a lot of notifications one day. Is this what happened to you, Katie? You're just like, oh, something's up. Yeah, that's how it starts. You're just like, wait, I got a lot of notifications. What's happening here? Comments. What's this? I've never gotten a comment on TikTok before. But apparently, well, first it happened a little bit ago, let's see, 3 days ago, when we had a video with the awesome Ziggy Heim, a local wrestler around here, and we were talking about the Big Show. And how his name is, like, he's actually named the Big Show, and like this whole concept, and that got something like 3,000 hits. I'm like, oh, that's nice. And then we theorized this concept that Violent J from the Insane Clown Posse and Guy Fieri are the same person, and they're very charitable individuals, and that got 16,000 views on TikTok. So, and I'm looking at another wrestling friend, the Rev Ron Hunt, who I know is pretty prominent on there. I'm comparing numbers now. I'm just like, wait, what's he doing over there? Because he's got this thing figured out. So, guys, did I figure out TikTok? I don't know. I just need to talk about ICP and Big Show, right? Is that what I'm doing? There's no dancing involved, by the way. Actually, there is a Street Fighter. I got some people doing some Mortal Kombat across the street at the taco stand. I put Mortal Kombat music too, so that was fun. But other than that, it's just random stuff. And Chilla, you said you were figuring out some things with TikTok, about kind of discovery and things like that. Like, don't follow people, you said?
Oh no, so you may not want people
to follow
depending
you.
on and maybe I'm the oddball out here. I open TikTok and I go, the default panel you're in is For You. Mm-hmm. So if you look at the top of the screen, For You is underlined.
That thing. Okay, I see what you're talking about versus following.
So if you follow someone, they will tend to fall out of your For You feed. And you have to constantly, like now, because of some people I followed, I'm like, where did their stuff go? Because I was getting their stuff constantly in my For You feed. But because I started following them, they tend not to show up in For You at all. What happens is For You will auto curate based on what you like, mm-hmm. and it'll throw in that creator in conjunction with other things like that. So it's weird. Like, I'm not sure if I were creating content here, if I would want people to follow me as much as I would want them to just like my content. Because if you follow someone, I mean, it's probably a psychology question to be asked too. Mm-hmm. If you follow someone, do you tend to like their stuff because you're already following them? Mm-hmm. So you're just going to scroll through that feed.
So this is the behavior of the people that live in TikTok, which I can't say that you and I do, right? I feel like we're still outliers with this platform a little bit.
But I'm just thinking of from a general, like when I think about Facebook and Twitter, I'm really only getting people from my feed, and I now have to kind of go look at my feed and figure out who other people are following or looking at retweets and things of that nature. And I tend to scroll through, and it takes a lot for me to actually tap like or on Facebook cares or whatever. Like I don't just give those out freely because they're always in my feed, so I can just kind of scroll through. In TikTok, like I feel like I'm more apt because there's no retweeting, like there's no repost feature. Like I feel like I'm giving out more likes on that platform because there's like that auto curation, and I'm kind of training the AI to get it to know what I like. I don't know. I guess, and maybe that's my way of interacting with the platform. I wouldn't, because I'm on there now, like way too much.
It sucks.
I don't know. I don't think of myself as an outlier, as I'm still learning how to kind of game the algorithm. But there's, to me, the way that people interact with it is much different than the way people interact with Facebook or Twitter.
Right. Oh, absolutely. This is just that like flowing feed. And that's where I think it loses it when they bring these function over to, I've been playing more with Reels over on Instagram, and it's just like, it's just another thing, right? It doesn't feel like, I keep forgetting it's there for the most part. Except for the accounts where I accidentally get into Reels because they changed the button. That was the slimiest damn thing that Instagram has done yet, was changing the post button to Reels, to, hey, I want to go post this video, to, hey, you're watching Reels now, welcome to our TikTok. What did we just do here? But that and then it's not the same on every account. So I go to a different account and it behaves differently. Jeez. Anyways, I don't know if anybody's looking at fleets. That's the other thing I've figured out. And stories on LinkedIn. I don't think that's happening at all, at least on my end. But Amanda, Katie, have you been TikToking?
I'm a consumer. I am a huge consumer of TikToks and share of TikToks, but not so much on the creator end of things because I never figured out my niche, and I was just like, I'm just gonna enjoy it.
Yeah. It really is just kind of converting stuff we already do at this point. So, and I like the editing tools. Anytime I want to throw music on something, you go TikTok. Like, it's the easiest one, right?
Oh yeah, their editing tools are amazing, and it's just being able, just even like deep diving to those, they're phenomenal. And just, there are a few apps, like even external apps that you could put on your phone that are anything like what TikTok does and is able to do and contain into a single app.
Absolutely. Amanda, have you been poking around at the talk? Is that what the kids call it?
So I actually left TikTok when that whole data scheming thing went on. I had about 6 videos up, and I deleted them all and deleted my account because I was like, well, nobody's getting my data. And well, this was also consequently when I quit Facebook also. So I just basically said the 2 that I was concerned with the most, I would drop down and leave. But I'm huge into Reels. I've created probably 15 Reels now, which I should probably transfer over to TikTok and see how they do. Because I have, probably about 15, and I got my biggest one just 2 days ago. It has 700 views, something like 50 some hearts, and like 6 comments on a reel.
So the biggest thing I've been doing with those, and why I think it helps the TikTok, other than making sure everything is hashtagged, if you haven't seen our stories and our clips, how we've been doing the last couple of weeks, I put really big like text, like, what is this you're looking at? And I like the one, one was called the Insane Clown Posse Theory. The other one was, what if Big Show was his real name? I think. So I'm trying to make that eye catching, so you stick around for the audio, right? Especially if you get, see it in Twitter or something, and maybe don't have your sound up or something like that. That something to suck you into it and actually play and be like, oh, what is this? For this 20-second clip that we pulled from the show. So that's been like that visual component seems really important that I can tell so far. So but that's me. So It'll be interesting, and the TikTok experiment. I got a few other things I want to try over the next couple of weeks, so we'll see how that goes. So hello, if there's any new listeners that have followed my TikTok. I know Shorts we were playing with as an aside. YouTube Shorts. If you go through YouTube and notice there's kind of a stories kind of thing that'll pop up there. We've had a couple of things on this show and Mayhem show pop on there a little bit too, getting a few hundred or 1,000 or something like that, more than what some of the clips typically do, because we don't do well on YouTube at all, unless we're talking about porn, VR porn apparently. Like there's clips from like back in the basement that are still like getting hits. But so, anyways,
that sounds awful.
Back in the basement.
What did we used to do back there? What's happening?
Yeah, whatever it is, I'm sure it's not on Pornhub anymore. So that's a story maybe we'll get to in a moment. But in the meantime, I want to give a shout out to our friends over at Slice on Broadway, right up the street. Nothing warms you on a cool night like a hot pepperoni pizza, guys. There you go. That's our new tagline. That should be their Christmas one. But thank you everybody at Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza for a good long time now, helping feed when we used to have guests in here. When that was a thing, when we all gathered around the AwesomeCast table physically, it was a fantastic pizza feast. And well, that doesn't happen much anymore. But they're still supporting us. We thank them for doing that. 3 locations here in Pittsburgh: Beechview, Carnegie, East End. I drove by the East End one the other day because I actually, left the neighborhood for once. I just have to drive somewhere, guys. I just need somewhere to go at this point. But thank you to them. Please support them at sliceonbroadway.com. And so let's get into our stories over here. Oh, geez. So I redid how the stories work right now, and now I don't know how to do it during the show. Where do you want to start with Chilla? I see you have a couple things in here.
Did I mess something up? Did I put them in the wrong spot?
No, you're not in the wrong spot. I didn't necessarily mean in order. I just put everything in a section so we can group them all together, so we're not like going back and forth on subject matter. That was the idea of the new format.
I boogered that up real good.
Oh, did you? You just throw everything at the bottom?
I just threw everything at the bottom like I do every other week. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you did.
I didn't read the instructions.
No, that's fine. I just threw them in kind of last minute. Actually, I'm gonna rescind that in a moment. Amanda, you shared the blog opera that killed some of my time today. From Kim Lyons, of course, was the first one that I shared it, and apparently had also wasted about an hour and a half on it.
I luckily made one video, and then I'm like, no, I have to stop. I was like, it was a short break from work, and I was like,
this is going to be a problem.
Scrolling through Twitter, I saw Kim post it, and I was like, what is this magic? And it was just so much fun to play on the phone and just kind of like I made a short little video. I didn't really get into it, so I saw that she said like you can make Christmas carols and stuff like that. And I got to the point where I could add a hat onto them, the Santa hat.
Oh, I'm gonna have to turn the audio on.
They're a bunch of it's a blast. It's a good waste of time and forgetting the world.
So explain the visuals while I'm playing with this thing, because I'm going off mic so you can hear it.
So there's multicolored like blobs. So there's a red one, a green one, a blue one, and a purple one, and they're each different. Like it's a soprano, an alto, a tenor, and a bass. And then you pull them. If it's on your phone or like your touch device, you can pull them up and slide them forward and backwards to kind of hit different notes. And so basically then you can record a video of them like doing everything. So it's a lot of, it's very tactile, but it's a lot of fun. Like I was like, I don't know, it was just good time.
So I got the Christmas hats on them, and then they do have some pre-made videos on here. Hold on, let me stop this a second. Oh, now he's just singing. Oh, that's my video. That's cool. And then you can, let's see, you got your Christmas hats, and then you can do pre-made songs. This is kind of fun. And you see why you could lose some time for a while. Yeah, I first tried it on the iPad, and it was cool that it was like a very kind of touch sensitive kind of thing. This is a Google experiment with Google Arts and Culture. I didn't know that was a thing until this. I think it's a point. Also, did you know there's a Google Arts and Culture app as well?
No, but that makes me curious. Like, I love the painting apps. Like, I used to do this one called Painting a Day, where it would highlight a painting a day and give you like the history of the painting. I love apps like that. Like, I'm into them.
Yeah. So, and they have, if you click up here on the Arts and Culture on the page, they have a few other activities. Let's see, what's your favorite activity? Arts and crafts, reading, cooking, gardening. I didn't get to dig into this, but just saw that, hey, there was, oh wait, what's your favorite color? Okay, let's see what happens here. I'm gonna click my purple. There it is. And now just here's a bunch of art and imagery with a purple palette. That's actually really cool. So if you're looking for something for a sweet like cover art for your Twitter page, that could be something fun. So that's artsandculture.google.com, and that's the Blob Opera is the experiment that they have as part of that. So it looks like there's a ton of fun stuff in here that you can kind of play with. Yeah, you can get into the experiments. There's a lot of cool stuff from the looks of things. So, but that will be playing for another time. So thanks, Kim. There's a couple of things that I saw Kim share this week that were really awesome. She always is sharing cool stuff over there on The Verge. Chilla, I'll let you pick one again.
Sorry, I was getting caught up in the Blob Opera, playing around with that.
Yeah.
Which one did I find interesting? Oh, so as someone that's been playing around with Raspberry Pi, if you go to item number 20 on the John Chichilla out of order spectrum,
that's fine.
Intel has actually come to the table with an attempted competitor to Raspberry Pi. I'm not sure how much this is going to catch on. Maybe with something like Neverware loaded onto it.
Yeah.
But so they came out with their own single board computer to compete. The baseline device comes with a Celeron N4020 dual core CPU. It has some 4 gig of RAM and 64 gig of flash. What I thought was interesting, and the thing that I always thought was kind of cool about the Raspberry Pi was, you could kind of load up SD cards and pull them off. This has flash RAM. They do offer the ability to upgrade to the NVMe M.2, which is like the flash drive storage. But I mean, you look at I feel like you're just begging for, hey, okay, now that I got this thing, I'm going to have to spend another $200 or $300 on things.
Yeah. So this thing starts at $100 versus a Raspberry Pi that starts at $35 just for the board.
Or 10 for the Zero.
Yeah, 10 for the Zero. And I feel like it's give me a performance comparison between this and a Raspberry Pi. So
I'm guessing this is going to come out on top of the Raspberry Pi.
Okay.
Because these will run Windows 10. In fact, the $99 comes with Ubuntu Linux pre-installed and going up to the 140.
I need a performance look. Let me know what RetroPie is gonna do on there. Something like that.
Well, if you load it on Linux, I'm guessing it's not going to do too bad. I'm guessing it may actually outperform the Raspberry Pi ARM chip. And the other thing is this is going to be x86 based. So you're probably going to be able to run enough. If you're just the average person that doesn't want to have to deal with Linux as much, you could probably load other interesting stuff. The other thing that I thought was interesting is that it has the same what do they call it? A hat, the pin configuration that allows you to put like additional boards on your Raspberry Pi.
Oh, the boards. Okay.
Yeah, this one has the exact same configuration.
I thought you were about to tell me that I could swap CPUs just like the old Pentium days.
Oh no, that would be super cool. No, but it has the same 40-pin GPIO. So they're saying that, hey, if you want to build whatever, you can use the same Raspberry Pi add-on stuff with this. But obviously, you're not getting Raspbian or any of the Buster OS or whatever it is.
I'd be very curious. It reminds me of I know they're kind of aiming for the Raspberry Pi thing, but it reminds me of the old Intel NUCs that I was eyeballing for a little bit as some Mac Mini replacements for the studio. Skype machines, things like that. I still like to do that rather than just having like a laptop situation like we have with you guys. But it's interesting. That's interesting. So it really does kind of feel like a little bit of like, hey, what do we do with all of these Celeron chips? Here we go. Education.
And just load up your Neverware build of Chrome and you're good to go.
Exactly. I want a cheap computer for the office or to do a task. And it is, but unfortunately, most of the things I think people would do that for, try to get a cheap computer to do a task are going to be well served already with the Raspberry Pi idea. So, but anyways, interesting to see the competition. If only they could get the price down a little bit, right? But that's kind of been Intel's problem, hasn't it? Always been heavy duty. Katie, I should have paired this with the last one. What's going on with Google Photos?
Oh, do you want to catch up with Periscope real quick before we?
Oh, well, yeah, sure. What is the latest on Periscope? Because I need to figure this out.
Yeah, didn't we start teasing this at the beginning of the show?
We did tease this at the beginning of the show.
You stuck around this far, we'll give you this. But Periscope is going away, and this kind of made me laugh because Twitter bought Periscope back in March of 2015, which would now be like 6 years ago. And it was because they were competing with Meerkat, if you remember Meerkat. And then Meerkat went on to develop House Party, which I didn't realize that they pivoted and that went that way. But Periscope is going away. So if you have Periscope, sorry. But actually, Twitter integrated most of what Periscope had into its Twitter Live. So you're cool with that and you'll still have the same functionality. But if you have videos on Periscope, I'm not sure. It doesn't really say what's going to happen to the videos. I don't think I found that part. But something cool with Periscope going away is something where you could become a super broadcaster. This was very limited when Periscope was, up and chugging along. And essentially you could do your videos and people could tip you and you could cash out those tips and make actual money. But they're relaxing the requirements to become a super broadcaster. So if you're on Periscope now and you're posting videos with Periscope now, it wouldn't hurt to look to see if you can become a super broadcaster and then maybe make some money. And then you'll have, so the app will go away. It sounds like in March, it'll be out of the store, of the online store, on the interwebs stores. And if you're a broadcaster, super broadcaster, you'll have until April 30th to finish cashing out your tips. So.
Closing time. Cash it out.
Closing time.
I really hope the last stream. I hope it's one of those situations like there was a one like when they were shutting down the servers for Halo 2. Somebody sat there and just continued playing Halo 2 as long as they physically could. So they couldn't shut down the servers until he was done. I hope somebody just streams closing time over and over again until they shut down the servers, and that's like the last stream. We could be that, actually. We should just do that on all of our feeds until they're done.
So yeah. Oh, wait, I found it. So if you have existing broadcasts that you shared on Twitter, they'll exist as replays, and you also have the ability to download an archive of your content before it goes away. So if you have things in Periscope you want, download it now.
Here's a question. How do you go live on Twitter Live if you're Joe Schmo unverified user? Because I don't know that is a ready function for anybody. I haven't seen it.
I haven't tried to go live on Twitter because
Yeah, there's like you hit your photo thing. Oh, there is a live button. Hello.
Oh, let's go.
If you go hit the camera, there's capture, there's video, and then there's live, and then you can go live from there. Okay. Now, how do I put this live? Is the next question, and that's what we need to look into. So, but no, if you want to go just with your phone live, like that is certainly available. So,
Ta-da.
also TikTok Live's a thing. Kanye West just went live.
Sorg, I feel like
What?
you're so cute when it comes to TikTok. It's like such a role reversal. This is like working with my mom when she just found out that link trees are not Christmas trees. Nothing to do with Christmas. But she did school us on a different type of decor that maybe should be on AwesomeCast After Dark. But
What?
that was the same conversation where she said she learned that from her coworkers that link trees had nothing to do with Christmas.
Mhm.
And then, oh my gosh, what was that type of decor? It was the beach bodies artwork that I also thought, a beach bodies art or something that I also thought had to do with social media, because just the way that one thing led to another, and that turns out to be something, some inappropriate artwork for your home that is sneakily looks like sea creatures. That's a very polite way of putting that. That was in the same conversation.
Okay, I remember that. I remember that text conversation now. Yeah. Okay.
AwesomeCast After Dark.
But maybe that'll be our next thing. That'll really get over on TikTok. They'll only stream to TikTok. That'll be what happens there. By the way, I want to smack whoever's at TechCrunch who decided to use the movie poster from down Periscope for the Periscope shutdown.
I knew you'd like that. That's why I shared that article.
Oh, that hurts. That hurts a lot. Anyways, and I'll get back to my doc here in a moment. And so I want to stay on social media for a second. Where are we at on time? Well, we're at that time, aren't we? Okay, one last one. This is another one that Kim Lyons shared. PA Treasury Twitter account is going to be shut down, and I was not aware of that. They had a very big legacy of a snarky and relatable PR campaign by a government entity in Pennsylvania. By the way, I don't know if you guys had a chance to read some of this article, and I didn't catch why they wanted to, why they have to shut down, but it's been they've been calling it an experiment. So there was like things like this post here. Let me zoom in on it. Moments earlier, a member of our staff posted this picture of a fox with no text. While we deeply do not regret this action, it's important to remember that with PA able people with disabilities can save their future without fear of losing benefits. Things like that. It's kind of like while the right hand's doing something, the left hand gave you some important treasury information. They're retweeting a New York Post about Zuckerberg on a surfboard in Hawaii, and it's kind of fun. There's a pretty creepy triple picture of Jeff Bezos that says, "When your behemoth of a company acts as a wood shipper to nearly every sector of the economy, it pays zero in taxes." Yeah. Evil laughed. Jeff Bezos. They are really snarky against Bezos and Zuckerberg, and it's pretty great. So go check that out. The link will be in the show notes, and that was kind of a fun thing. I'm sad I didn't follow them before now, but awesome. Amanda, thank you so much for joining us again. What's going on in bold Pittsburgh? What are you guys doing for the holidays?
Thank you for having me on. We have 3 more giveaways with our Big Bold Christmas and 2 more Yinzer bartenders to post.
Yes.
So we have holiday cocktails up. And we have, 2 or 3 more giveaways to do. So we're giving away gift cards to local restaurants. We have a bottle of whiskey right now we're giving away. I've got, just some more posts and a lot more fun before I don't know if we're shutting down for January. Last year we shut down for January, and it was a big mistake because we didn't get rolling again ever. No.
until everything
again,
shut down.
It was like January, and then we rolled right into COVID. So
yeah.
I don't think we're just shutting down this January for the month. So we'll see.
You do kind of have to be ready, right, for whatever the heck is next at this point. So that's one lesson it probably taught us all earlier this year.
I'm probably going to focus on shopping local and local restaurants, like takeout next month, especially if they don't get to open back up on the 4th. So we'll see. Yes.
And figuring out what that next step's going to be for local restaurants for sure, because I know that's a pretty big issue that's going on right now with the recent round of shutdowns. So, yeah. I would be interested because I'm passing someplace. I would love to see. Is anybody doing? Maybe I'm pitching this to you. Is anybody doing a feature on what restaurants have done to modify things in interesting ways? Because I noticed I passed Mindful Brewing the other day, and I remember when they were first putting out the seats several months ago, and I hadn't seen them for several months, and now they have like the fake golf grass like along that entire section that used to be parking lot for them, where the tables are, and it looks really nice down there. So like things like that, I'm kind of curious. And even driving downtown through the Market Square for the first time in ever, seeing how everybody's kind of adapted down there has been interesting. So
yeah, so Good Food Pittsburgh, or I think Next Pittsburgh, one of the two of them did like the top 10 igloos in the city to have dinner in or something, which was a lot of fun to read. But nobody's done like an overall of like the most interesting things. I like the Mindful Brewing piece. I really do. I ate dinner there actually over the summer. Had dinner out on that little fake grass and underneath an umbrella. It was really great. It was a lot of fun. But yeah.
The wackiest one I saw, I think we may have mentioned one on AwesomeCast about somebody was doing like topless deliveries or something. And there was a bikini barista that I saw billboards for in California, and I'm like, what? Like, yeah. So, that's you gotta figure it out somehow, I guess, during all this. Also helping me figure out the TikTok is Katie Dutters.
Hi. So I do want to point out that if you do want to check it out, it's Bad Beach Theme. If you are
Bad Beach
can
Theme.
handle if you can handle adult content, fun adult content, tongue-in-cheek adult content.
Yes.
Google Bad Beach Theme, and there's a lot of Etsy stuff and things. And like I said, I thought it was something on social media, so you can laugh at me for that one.
It sounds like it should be, right? Awesome. Where can people find your Bad Beach themes on the internet? That turned into a weird question, I think, but I think you know what I mean.
K Dutters on Twitter, Kate Marie PGH on Instagram, and whatever on Facebook. Katie something or another. Dudas. Sure. My name again. That's where I'm at.
And also John Chichilla in the Chilla Cave.
In the Chilla Cave. Chilla on the Twitters, John Chichilla on the Facebooks. I think I'm Chilla579 on the TikToks with currently no content, but hopefully that will change. So as we approach the holiday and I completely renovate the Chilla Cave.
Ooh, that's been the big thing. Is like I think most people have an account, but none of them do content. So I'm like, is this the real person? Katie, have I been tagging you? I'm not sure. For instance, and Chilla, it looked like it was a fake Chilla when I found one. So
I think I actually registered Chilla and I can't figure out how to get to it. Like I don't remember the password. I don't think I linked it to an email. Like it's in the purgatory of TikTok.
Yeah, I know that. I have a lot of Twitter accounts I realize that are in that, and they won't let go of my phone number to sign up for new Twitter accounts. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining us here. We'll be back for the Christmas episode, the year-end prediction episode next week. And I believe Katie asked, and therefore drinking will be allowed on the AwesomeCast. I know we don't usually do that. Do we usually do that? We don't usually do that for the year-end for this. I usually save it for the Mayhem show, but you're allowed. I'll get some from the brewery up the street here. Not the brewery, the beer place. The beer place. What do you call those places? You can tell I drink.
Distributor?
Beer distributor. You can tell I drink. You can tell I've had a beer in the last 4 months. Not really. But yeah, so we'll have a lot of fun with that, and you guys can join us. And we got some asks out for a lot of fun people to return to the show. Yeah, I fixed it, Katie.
I thought that was a preview for the Christmas episode.
Jeez. We'll see you guys next week. Until then, you have been our awesome audience. Have an awesome week. This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.